Hi everyone, Graham here with the latest updates from We Share Abundance. We Share Abundance is a cloud nation. We've been around just over 5 years, putting in solid foundations to be here for many generations to come. But despite 5 years, we're still an emerging nation, and we're now in the process of expanding our economy to improve the liquidity and value of our currency and benefit all our citizens. Because all our citizens hold our currency, we give it to them free every month. There is no fee, there is no obligation in becoming a citizen. You just come along, register, prove you're a real person. That's all there is to it. So there's no reason why everybody shouldn't become a citizen. There's lots of things that you can get involved in if you choose, but it is totally optional. We are also a non-separatist organisation. That means we don't separate people into groups based on what they look like, where they come from, what the gender is, or anything else. Not only do we not separate them in that way, we don't recognise them in that way. We just see everybody as a human being, part of one big family of humanity, all linked together, all individually unique, all having something unique to offer our community, all of equal value to our community. And it's flashing saying the waiting room is there, but it isn't. So I don't know why that's flashing. Okay. We have a little affirmation that helps us with that ideology, and we'll be getting started with that in just a moment after our opening prayer. Very short prayer to help us find true happiness in life. Not short-term pleasure, but ever new joy and bliss within. That's something that you can't buy. You can only get it through loving service to others. And the great thing about being of loving service to others is that it attracts into your life everything else you want and need. So that's how we start all of our presentations, all of our updates, and we have them all recorded right the way back to day one, because we know that not everybody can manage 7 p.m. London time. It's just not convenient for everyone. So anybody that really wants to keep up to date, if they can't make it live, they can watch the recordings. Of course, if you are live, you can put your questions and things in the comment in the chat, and we do our best to answer them. And also, if you're here live, it's lovely when people just pop in their name and where they're from, so that we can show people that we are truly global. I see, in fact, we've got a few people in, so welcome to you, whether you're watching live or the recording. But here now we've got Ramachandra in from Watford in England. We've got Lewis in from Lisbon in Portugal, Norman from Doncaster, England, Werner from South Africa. We've got Maya in from the southeast England, and you see Cody there, but Cody is a code name for my other computer, just so that I can see that things are working the way they should be. But I'm sure there'll be more people popping along in the near future. Meanwhile, let's get started with that little prayer and the affirmation, and then I'll bring you up to date with what's been going on today. Dear Heavenly Father, we are so happy and grateful for you, and we ask that you bless the We Share Abundance community, that it may fill each member's heart with unconditional love, and that through that love, bless each member that they may find the joy of service, and through service attract true happiness and everything they want and need into their life. Amen. And our little affirmation: we're so happy and grateful to be citizens of the United States of the world, with God and truth as our leaders. Heavenly Father, may thy kingdom of peace come into our world as it is in heaven, and free us all from divisive inharmony, that we may become perfect citizens in body, mind and soul of thy world. Right, I see we've got Nanki up in from Nigeria as well, and we've got Bozina in from Slovenia. And excuse me, I'm just going to try and lubricate the old voice box a little bit with some of that, what do they call it? Adam's Ale water. Okay. Right, today. First of all, yesterday, we didn't know what had gone on with the raffle. But what did happen was it was run ahead of time. What should happen is if I forget to run it, as happened once, then a cron job kicks in at about 8:15 because it says, oh, Graham forgot again, and it runs the raffle. But I'm not sure what time it did run. It seems to be set at 8:15, but it ran prior to that. And so the figures we got were correct. The winner was correct. We sold 177 tickets, which isn't up to our break-even point. So we actually lost $14.65 out of our charity pool. And I take the blame for that because I didn't advertise it much, and so we were down on our normal ticket count. So hopefully I'll remember to promote it a little bit more this week, and we'll get back up to normal and making a little profit. So we won't be running it today. We did run it, and the results are there in your back office. And I can't remember who the winner was actually. I think I've got an account open here. Let me just check. Yeah. Last raffle results. Last draw result. It was somebody called, or username, Ladisco, who won the $120. And then there were several people that, or not just several, there were 59 people who got second prize. So that is that is one issue from yesterday solved. Now, I have been saying over the weekend and leading up to the weekend that we would be handing the thief over to the authorities today. And I'll be quite honest, I just didn't have time to do it. It'll be done tomorrow. He hasn't got back to us. He's just tried to hide. So we will send the information to the authorities tomorrow. What else today? We're working on various other things. A lot of them are connected with the new server and the cron job and things that weren't working. But we should have the KYC operational again now. I know it does bring the pop-up up, but we had somebody put in a ticket saying that they'd submitted information and they were still showing as unverified. But when I go to the app, it's not shown that person, it's not shown anybody actually going through the verification process recently. And consequently, we haven't been charged for anybody going through the verification process. So I'm not sure whether it's working or not, whether that gentleman made a mistake and he didn't process things, and so it didn't actually complete. But usually, if it doesn't complete, it brings up an error. So I think there is something wrong in the connection between our website and, well, no, it's done on their website when it comes up. I don't know. We'll have to look into it anyway. We'll look into it more tomorrow. Unfortunately, once you've been through the verification, you can't do it again. So we can't test whether or not it's working, because all our support team and admins I wonder if Vishal may not have done his KYC, and if not, we can get him to test it. But I think everybody else has been through and done it. And I can see we've got Sam in. He's struggling to get his feet on the ground at the moment. But nice to see you anyway. Sam is from Nigeria, I believe. Who else have we got in? We've got a few more people in. We've got Bozina from Edinburgh, who has joined us, and we've got Don Wilson from British Columbia, Canada, Vancouver Island, which I believe is very beautiful. I've never been there. I do have a good friend lives in Vancouver, so who knows, one day I may get there. We got Mary in from Chicago, USA. I have been to Chicago. Long time ago, but I've been. And we got Maureen just popped in from London as well. And Sam's got his orientation sorted out now. He's the right way up. So it's all good. So we've been working on a lot of things, you know, that are individually small issues, but they affect a lot of other things. The way that pop-ups work, and the way that the new hosting deals with some things, and information getting posted back to the website from transactions and things like this. But we are getting closer, and we are doing better. And we have, in fact, run the 777 plan now. And I'm not sure how many members we've got in there now, but it should have gone up significantly. We were only showing 30-something thousand, and the last numbers I had were 40,455. So let me see if I can get that figure. It's still not showing any increase here, but I understand from Devyani that it should be showing a different figure than that. It's showing 38,251 in the at the top of your dashboard, but I think that is wrong, because Devyani told me that after she ran it, there were, if I can find it, 42,597. So it should be getting back up there, but it's not completed at this moment in time. We'll have to wait and see tomorrow. What else? Vishal is pretty close to getting the code for the new ShareHope plan onto the live site. We will be testing that tomorrow. So there's quite a lot going on there. We did get a Success Blueprint webinar done today at 4 p.m. I think the format is better than we've been doing. It's still not perfect, but we'll keep improving it until we get it absolutely spot on. The important thing is when you turn up there, be prepared to put your camera on. It's not so important here in the updates, although it's nice to see people like Sam. He's gone now, and Norman. Norman usually has his camera on. because people like to deal with people. Oh, Sam's back. Okay, thank you, Sam. People like to deal with people. They like to be able to see people. As I say, not too important in the updates here, but when we are on those Success Blueprint webinars, it is important. The more people that are showing their faces there, the more success we will have in converting people. And there we go. We've got Maureen in as well from London, who has said hi. Thank you. So it's lovely to see you. You don't have to show your office or room or whatever you're in. If you don't want to, you can blur it out. There's an option somewhere, can't remember where it is, but somewhere when you're setting up your camera, you can have the option to have a blurred background, or you can upload something like I've uploaded a picture here of We Share Abundance, United States of the World, but you can just put a picture in of anything that you want and it will provide you with a background. Okay. We have also Ron, who's just joined us from Amsterdam in Holland. Yeah, so we had that meeting for Vibe, and we're now going to be running them 4 days a week. We will get up to certainly 6 days a week. I'm not sure whether we're going to do 7, but we will get up to 6 days a week as we grow and there are more and more people coming in and needing to get on the webinars. But at the moment, we'll be doing them on Monday at 4 p.m, Wednesday 10 a.m, Thursday 4 p.m, and Saturday 10 a.m. And those are all London times. They are also on the website, so you can check on those and you'll be able to attend any of those and support everybody and bring your guests along and get them into those meetings, and we can start really building your team for you. Now, I also got on the webinar with Megan today. She does them twice a day. She does them as well as doing 3-way calls and things. But I was working at other things, but I was listening to what was going on the webinar with Megan. And the earliest that the site will be back up for you to log in will be Wednesday after her it's 5 p.m. London time call. I think that's noon Eastern time. Yeah, it is noon Eastern summertime. So, and she says that it's important that everybody gets on that call on Wednesday. So if you are interested in changing your life through Vibe, then it's important that you get on the calls. Everybody that is in Vibe and intends to make money with Vibe should be on the call. How are you going to make money if you don't know what's going on? So, particularly that Wednesday call is very important, I understand. Now, there were a few pointers about how things are going to work as well for inclusion in the matrix, and you're going to get in and you're going to get 45 days to qualify, from what I understand. And how do you qualify? Well, you've got to have 500 points to qualify to be in the matrix. So you've got to, and the points are products value is the same. So if you are a legend member, that's $250. you get 250 points. So how do you get 500? Well, it's on your personal accumulation of points through your personal referrals and your own purchases. So in fact, you don't really need to purchase anything. You could just go out and sell 2 legend packages, and that would give you 500 points. You'd be in the matrix. Now, I don't think that is the best way of doing things, but it is one way that you could do it. You can also do it with your own, say, legend package and referring one other legend package, and that would give you that same 500 points. If you're working on the Pro package, that's $160, so you're only getting 160 points there. So that's what, 480 for 3 of those. You'd be 20 points short, so you need to make up 20 points somewhere along the line to get and stay in the matrix. So what it means is, if you're going to get in and you think you're going to sit there and make 1,800 a month from doing nothing, it's not going to work long term. It's only going to last 45 days for you. You have to have, after that 45-day period, a 500 points, whatever, however they call it. You know, they'll have some fancy name for the points, but anyway, that's basically it. So so you can't get into there and remain in there passively making money. You're going to have to put in a little bit of work. The easiest way of doing it, of course, is through the Success Blueprint, because we're going to put people in at the top level, $250, and it's only going to cost them $12.50. And we've done that deliberately to help our members, because we have a lot of members in countries where they just can't afford 250. Even $12.50 can be a struggle for some people. I know $12.50 if you live in England is neither here nor there, or if you live in the States or Germany, it's, you know, it's a couple of cups of coffee or a couple of beers or something, you know, it's nothing. But in some countries, you know, Philippines or a lot of African countries, a lot of Asian countries, South American countries, $12.50 can be your grocery bill for the day, or more. So that is why we've done the Success Blueprint, to bring the cost down for everybody. But you've got to put a little bit of work in there as well, you know, because you can't just pay you $12.50 and say, okay, that's it, I'm done. Put me into Vibe for $250. You've got to build your team, and you will need to refer 3 people before we pay you that $260. And there's a lot of other things we're going to pay you as well. So you're going to have to build that team, 3927, and you've got to have at least 3 personal referrals. It could be that you've got 3927 already, but if you've not got any personal referrals, we're not going to give you anything to move forward with. You've still got to go and get your 3 referrals. But it is possible that you've got that matrix filled through spillover, because I've been creating quite a bit. So that is it's for you to work on. To get 3 people at $12.50 each should not be a problem for anybody. And you can say, well, I live in, let's take Nigeria, for example, Sam. You know, a lot of people in Nigeria, $12.50 is a lot of money for. But if you're online, you don't have to restrict yourself to people in Nigeria. It's lovely to be able to help people around you, that you can get them in and get them through and get them changing their life financially. But initially, you might be well advised to look in other countries where people will say, oh yeah, I'll have a go at it for $12.50. Yeah, why not? So look in North America, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and you'll find people there that will feel $12.50 is neither here nor there. There are a lot of people actually in African countries and Asian countries that $12.50 doesn't mean much to, but it's not the bulk of the population. But there are a lot of people with quite a lot of money in those countries, in South America and places. So don't make excuses. Just get out there and get you three people for $12.50, and then get them doing the same. You do that, get you three people in a week, get them to get their three people in a week, get those 9 to get their three people in a week, and you're into Vibe without putting your hand in your pocket, basically. Okay, it's cost you $12.50, but it'll never cost you anything again, because we're going to pay you into the subsequent months for the Success Blueprint, and we're going to pay you into other things, and we're going to give you other benefits. So just get out there and do it if you want to change your life. You've got to be prepared to take action, and it won't always be easy for you. Easy is where you are now. You may say, well, life isn't easy for me. I struggle to pay the bills. I'm struggling for my rent. I'm struggling for this. I'm struggling for that. That's not easy. Well, it is, because that's what you know how to do. That's where you are. That is where you reside. That is what you know how to do. And from that point of view, it's easy. What you've got to do is get out of that comfort zone, even though it's uncomfortable. You've got to decide that it's too uncomfortable to stay there and grow as a person, learn new skills, get out there and find your three people. And when you've found them, you'll look back and say, well, actually, it was easy. But before you've got them, you're going to be looking at it and saying, oh, it's hard. I can't do it. I've never been able to do it, and I can't do it now. And Henry Ford, a wonderful quote from Henry Ford. He said, if you think you can, or you think you can't, you're right. And so it's all down to you, folks. It's all down to you. So that's updates on Vibe. It really is where I am focusing my attention. My intention is to generate within 2025 $1 million a month in income for We Share Abundance through the Vibe compensation plan. It is that powerful a plan. What do you need to do that? You need to find 21 people that refer 3 people each. That will bring you $1 million a month in income. Okay, but don't start thinking of your 21. Start thinking of your 3. Work with them, get your 9 in place in level 2. Work with those 9, get that 27 in place in level 3. Then you can think about adding another couple in to get you up to the next rank in Vibe. So you'll have 5 people. And then think about getting to the next rank, which is 6 people referred. And then the top rank in Vibe is 7. Get to 7 people. You're at the top rank. You've maxed out your rankings in Vibe with 7 people. Not maxed out your income, because the more people you bring in after that, the more money you'll make. But if you've got 7 people in that have all got 3 and work that 3 all the way down, then you'll be making a huge income anyway. And when you're making that sort of money, you'll be able to explain to people how you've been able to buy your house. Now, There's a lot of things you can't do nowadays that we used to do in the old days. We used to be able to show people. If you go back far enough, back into what, about 1986 or something like that, when the law changed, you could actually show people your paycheck from a network marketing company. So you could, I mean, you can still do it now in private, but you can't sort of put it out there publicly. You can't sort of display it and say, look, this is what I made from my opportunity. You're not allowed to do that anymore. What you can do is you can say, this is my new house I just paid cash for. You want to know how I did it? Or this is my brand new car I just bought for cash. Message me to find out how I managed to do that, starting from scratch 6 weeks ago or whatever, So you can do that, but you can't sort of say, oh, I made this much money from my multi-level marketing business that I was able to go and buy a car. That's not allowed anymore. Okay, and it keeps getting tougher and tougher, but you can, as I say, you can say, hello, this is a picture of me on my world cruise that I paid for with cash, that I made in just 6 weeks. And if you want to know how and join me on my next cruise, send me a message. You can do that sort of thing, but you can't openly say, I made this much money from Vibe or any other opportunity, We Share Abundance or anything. It's not allowed. Okay. But seriously, I have never seen a plan where it's so easy to make so much money as the Vibe plan. And for a lot of people, it won't be that easy to do, because you're selling what a lot of people would class as high ticket items, a couple of $100, $250, $160. If people are used to selling 10 grand items, then they won't think that's a high ticket item, but it's a high ticket to most people. Most people are sort of thinking about selling up to maybe $27, and anything above that I think is high ticket. So how do you sell those high ticket items? Usually you've got to get on the phone, you've got to do it one-on-one. People that have made a lot of money selling high ticket items get on the phone with people and they sell them on the phone, they close them on the phone. If you are in Vibe, you can do that through a three-way call. Even with Megan will do a three-way call with you if you want to get somebody introduced into Vibe. But isn't it much easier to get them into a webinar in We Share Abundance for the Success Blueprint and have them be talking about $12.50? You don't really need to do a three-way call or a personal call for that. You can do it if you want, you can do it, but is it really necessary? It shouldn't be. $12.50 is low cost for a business opportunity. So just get out there and do it, folks. Just get out there and do it. I see we've got Dustin in from Arizona as well. I didn't notice he popped in, but I've just seen him there. Okay. I don't think we've got much else, but I think I might have an answer here from Deviani regarding that on the Okay, so it looks like that 777 thing isn't working the way it should. So we'll be doing more work on that tomorrow. Okay. That really is all I've got for you. But you need, if you're interested in Vibe, whether it's through the Success Blueprint or whether you're going directly into Vibe, you can do both, of course. There's no reason to not do both. But you need to get on the Success Blueprint calls and you need to get on the Vibe calls so that you know what's going on all the time. Because if you don't, how can you expect to do well if you don't keep up to date with what's happening? Okay. I don't have anything more for you, and I don't see any questions in the comments. Just looking here. No. So we might as well end it there, folks. We will be here as usual tomorrow, 7 p.m. London time, in our link, streaming on Facebook and YouTube. And we'll try and get that 777 plan sorted out. As I say, we had over 45,500 members before we lost everything. We've got to find those people back. At the moment, we're only showing 38,000, and something is drastically wrong in what's going on there. So we'll have to look into it closely tomorrow. But until then, I don't have any more news for you. If you've got any questions to bring tomorrow, write them down so that you don't forget. And get on the Vibe calls. At least get on that Wednesday one, even if you can't make tomorrow's or tonight's. You know, just keep up to date. Stay updated as much as you can with everything that you're involved in. One last thing is, of course, Treasure Island are closing down your ability to refer people there free at the end of this month. So you got what, 26 days? No, 24, 23 days. What month are we in? April? Yeah, 23 days left where you can take advantage of that. No reason why you can't get everybody that you know in there, because it's free. It doesn't cost anything. You can't guarantee that they're going to make anything, but they certainly can't lose. Okay, so that's it, friends. I'll be here tomorrow, as I said, same time, same place. Until then, God bless you all. If you're in Success Blueprint or Vibe or anything yet, actually, just get off your butt and get out there and do whatever it takes. Okay? If somebody else can do it, you can do it as well. When Roger Bannister ran the 4-minute mile, when I was in my early teens, I think, can't remember when it was now, people said it was impossible for the human body to run a mile in 4 minutes. But he proved it wasn't impossible. He did it. And since then, there've been, I don't know how many, but it's probably in the hundreds of athletes that have run a mile in under 4 minutes. If somebody else can do it, you can do it. Don't make excuses. Just get out there. God bless. See you all tomorrow. Thanks for being here. I love you all.